Hi, guys. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Blahber podcast. I have missed you so much. It's been a roller coaster of a few months, and I've done so much, and you need to catch up with me. So, this episode is going to be divided in two sections, where the first one will be me talking about what I've been doing for the past few months, and then we'll be talking about a very interesting topic that I feel like now I'm a pro at. Okay, I think I have gained a lot of experience, and we're gonna talk about it, but not yet. So, what's been up with Roshni? Well, if you see, the set is different. It's not the same place anymore because I moved out. I finally decided to move out of my parents' house at the very, very cute age of 26. Now I'm 27, but this was when I was 26. And I had to make this decision for myself. It's a huge decision moving out of your house. I was very scared. I didn't know if I will be able to do it. And it's not only about affording rent, of course, it's just one part of it. When you leave your house, especially an Indian household, there are a lot of factors that play into your move, and it's not financial or physical stress, it's usually emotional. So for me, I wanted to start my own journey. I wanted to um, serve myself for once. I feel like my entire life I have been just giving out my energy to friends, family, relationships. And it's been very difficult for me because I felt at a point that I'm all spent. I have nothing else to give. I really wanted to do something for just me, and I felt like getting my own space would be like creating my own personal cave where I can do whatever the hell I want. There's nobody calling out my name 100 times in a day. That's my mom. My mom does that a lot. Like the number of times she would take my name in the house, it's crazy. And I just wanted a place of my own where I can create content, which I didn't actually. I didn't create content as soon as I moved in here. I did just a little bit, but I allowed myself a lot of time to heal. I just wanted to create a space where I could be myself. I just wanted to do something just for me. And when you've spent all your life doing things for other people, say your family, your friends, your partner, you don't know how to do things just for you. You kind of have to relearn that. So for me, it was that I wanted to learn to live with myself and love myself and serve myself. And that sadly came at the cost of leaving my family behind. And I don't mind that. I just don't. I still get a lot of shit for it from my parents, especially my dad. I didn't expect how taken aback my father would be by this, but he was. I thought my mom would be the one who would create a huge thing out of it and like really make me feel bad about leaving. But it was surprisingly my father. Every time, even now, when I go back home, he's like, "Are you done? Are you done? Did you like get what you wanted by moving out? You can move in now, just like live there for 6 months and come back to your old house." And I'm like, nope, nope. I am loving living alone. So, my God, moving in to a new place is a pain. Nobody told me this. Actually, everybody told me this. But nobody told me how much fun it is. It is a pain to, get all the furniture. You'll be spending a lot of money to just redo a house completely from scratch. And you might not have everything in your new house that you might have had in your parents' house. Because, of course, your parents would make sure that you have everything, right? But in your new house, you'll have to scrimp and scringe and make sure that you don't spend a lot of money on things that you don't need. right now I don't have a full length mirror in my house, so I have to literally look at myself in the tiny mirror above my wash basin. That's how I check myself before I leave the house. So I don't know what's happening below my torso because I cannot see anything. But yeah, I mean things like that, they're yet to come. Why am I telling you all this? Gosh, let's move on. I want to go deeper into the whole moving out situation in some other episode because I know a lot of us are now going to a new country, or just moving out of their parents' house or going to a new city. And living alone is quite difficult. It sounds very fun and um, great, and like now you have your freedom, so you can do whatever you want, you can drink whenever you want, you can eat whatever you want, you can call whoever you want home or not. It's totally up to you, but this freedom comes at a cost, and there's so much to it than just on what's on the surface level. So we will definitely get into it in another episode. But for now, let's move on to my second update. Do you see an amazing tan on my body right now? Do you see how beautiful it looks? I never knew that tanning can look so good on Indian skin. I just didn't know that. I mean, look at this. Gosh. And you know where I got it? I got it from Bali. Gosh, I don't know why I'm using this sexy radio voice, but I hope it's working because, like, I'm really enjoying this. So, Bali was supposed to be my birthday trip. My whole life has always been about working, and I've never had the chance to actually explore and try new things and travel and um, do all the stupid things that one would do because I have lived a very careful, calculated, smart life and made smart choices. Always behave like an adult. But I decided that now that I'm turning 27, I'm so close to 30, I might as well start enjoying my 20s before it gets over, right? So it was just a decision that I will travel more as much as possible and make sure that I enjoy my life as much as possible and not turn it into such a serious, dramatic movie. So I decided that for my birthday, I will go to Bali. This was supposed to be a solo trip, but my mom and my aunt, who are actually kind of my best friends, okay, so I don't mind going for a trip with them. They tagged along. They were like, "Theek hai, you're going to Bali. Even we want to go to Bali. We are young. Let's join you." And I had no issues with that. So they came with me for this beautiful trip. And I had to change a few things to kind of make sure that they enjoy too. So we did a lot of sightseeing and like really fun stuff in Bali. So many good experiences, and you won't believe what I did for my birthday. If you follow me on Instagram, you might know. But if you don't, I went on a sunrise trek with my mom and my aunt for my birthday. It was really, really fun. Very, very tiring, but so much fun. Worth it. The views were amazing. It's so worth it. But let me tell you like a funny incident. This might I'm digressing, but I'm just gonna tell you this incident. So we decided to do the sunrise trek. We did not know how difficult it would be or how cold it would be. I was imagining like Lonavala weather, pretty chilly, but not too cold. So I was dressed up all cute. And when we reached there, all these people are completely covered in like really fat jackets with backpacks and their gears ready. And we have absolutely nothing. I've just come there for a picnic. And my mom and my aunt also didn't know how intense this trek is going to be. We thought it's just like a simple, touristy trek, but it wasn't. It was quite difficult. So my mom gave up in the first 15 minutes. And my aunt, Jo, she did the whole trek with me. I'm so proud of her because it was quite difficult. But the whole way, every 5 minutes, she makes sure to say, Roshni, I hate you. Roshni, I'm going to kick your ass once we get back home. I hate you so much. This is not what I wanted. All the bad things, but she made it with me, and I'm so proud of her. And once we got to the top, even mom got there. We had somebody take her up on a bike. So once we all got there and saw the sunrise, it was absolutely stunning and worth it, worth every minute of pain that I put my aunt through. All in all, the whole experience was just beautiful. I think I would have enjoyed my solo trip, but these guys made it so much better. I wouldn't have had it any other way. I'm so glad that I had these two ladies by my side on my birthday, um, even though even though they hated me for what I made them do. On this trip, I also had a lot of free time for myself. So I spent that time thinking about all the decisions I've made, thinking about where I've reached in life and how I would like my next couple of years to be. And I realized that I put too much stress on becoming something, on proving myself to the world. But I don't care about the world. I have done nothing for myself. And I need to really, really take care of just me and nobody else, which, I did talk about it when I just told you that I moved out. It was a decision that I made for me. And now, like, going for the trip was a decision that I made for me. My future also has to be just like that. My future also needs to be for me and not for somebody else or with somebody else or around somebody else. Does that make sense? I want my life to be exactly the way that I want it to be. And anything and anybody who's in that life just makes it a little better, but doesn't change the path that it's going in. I think that none of this is making sense to you, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you my update number 3 because that will put things into perspective for you. So, I am going through a breakup right now. It was a beautiful relationship, but we both wanted different things, and it was the right decision to part ways at this point. So, we did. I had this toxic trait that I jump out of one relationship and get into another one right away without allowing myself the time to heal or deal with my issues or deal with the breakup. And that's why, to be honest, I have never been through a breakup because I never allowed myself to feel the pain that you would in a breakup. I replaced the pain with a brand new relationship and got myself fixed. But sooner or later, these things do catch up with you, and you will realize that you have so much unresolved trauma that has to be dealt with right now, or else you won't be able to move on in life. And I came to that point now when I just made so many decisions for me. I realized that I've not healed myself completely or at all. And I'm finding these small, small pleasures to make me feel good, even though I don't feel good from the inside. So, the breakup was necessary for me to heal myself and grow and work on myself completely. So that's that. I don't want to get too deep into this because it is quite a personal matter and I don't want to pick it apart on the internet. But I do want to talk about the things that happen after a breakup because I feel like those feelings are mutual for everyone, no matter what the reason of the breakup is. The pain that you will go through after the breakup is almost the same for everyone. But you'll be like, no, Roshni, you're wrong. Every person deals with their pain differently. And you're right, they do deal with it differently, but the pain is the same. The reason for your breakup could be anything, but the pain that you feel after the breakup is always the same. Everybody goes through a mutual feeling. That void, that emptiness that you feel inside, that vacuum that you feel inside, it's the same for everyone. The only difference is the way the person chooses to fill that void. I want to talk about that part, that void that everybody's trying to fill after a breakup, because even I am. So, let's talk about how to move on from a breakup. So, a couple of days back, I asked you guys on my personal Instagram page to help me with a few topics to discuss on the podcast. And to my surprise, a lot of people wanted me to talk about breakups and how to move on from one. And I loved it because I am going through a breakup right now, and I definitely would love to talk about this on the podcast. So, let's get into it. So the first thing I did after my breakup was completely ignore the fact that I am going through a breakup. I pretended like nothing happened and went on with my life like it's just a normal day. Little did I know, you cannot do that. It's called denial, and it's one of the first stages of going through a breakup. So I am just going through a typical breakup and I don't even know it. So what I did is I Googled how to get over a breakup to understand what other people are trying to say, or if anybody has any ideas of how to actually move on from a breakup. And found so many articles, and people just know things. The problem is that I couldn't relate to a lot of these articles because they were pretty generalized. And I or anyone would always think that, oh, my case is different. I am different from these people. So maybe the way I am dealing with my grief hasn't been discussed yet on the internet. So I went to my therapist and asked her, tell me what to do to get this block out of my head. I cannot stop thinking about it. And it's not the breakup that I'm thinking about. It's the life that I'm thinking about. I have absolutely no will to do anything. I don't feel happy. I don't feel sad. I don't feel like crying. I don't feel like complaining. I have no idea how to deal with this, but it still feels like there's a huge pit in my stomach and I really need to get over this pain. Just tell me how to deal with it. And I expected her to tell me, Roshni, do this, and you'll be good to go. But you know what she said? She said, for the next 1 week, do whatever the hell you want to do. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like running, run. If you feel like shouting at somebody, shout at somebody. If you want to, punch someone, don't do that, but just find an outlet. But do anything that your heart desires. You just need to purge. You need to throw all of this pain and energy out. You've been keeping it inside of you for so long. You need to throw it out and let it come out in whatever way it needs to. It can be a healthy way or it can be an unhealthy way, but you need to get it out of your system. I was like, are you sure you want to give me this much power? Because I am crazy. I can do anything. Are you sure you want to give me this much power? She's like, yes, you have the power. It's your life. You make all the decisions and just do it. Do whatever you want. The fact that I was expecting a 10-step routine to get out of a breakup made it very, very difficult for me to find any answers, and that left me stranded. The only way to deal with a breakup is by accepting the fact that there will be pain, there will be confusion, there will be immense anxiety, there will be a lot of things that will burden your heart with pain, but that has to be dealt with. There's no way to skip the process. There's no way to get over it in 5 days. So I won't be able to give you an answer here because I don't have an answer. But what I can do is I can relate to you, understand you, and sympathize with you. And I can talk about my experiences and just hope that it makes you feel better. I have a few friends who are also going through breakups with me. So it feels really good to talk to them and exchange notes. So I just hope that whatever I have to say right now might just help you in some way. Okay. So you might have heard of the 7 stages of a breakup. You might have found this online or heard it somewhere in a movie, but let me just run you through it very quickly. So it's shock, denial, bargaining, anger, grief, acceptance, and finally moving on. So I want to go through these steps one by one, not because I relate to them or I went through all of them, but I just want to kind of give you my own understanding of it. All right. Shock, I think it's for the person who's been broken up with. So they might think, where is this coming from? What just happened? So shock was not something that I felt because I felt like it was already about to happen. So I knew it. So I didn't feel any shock. But if you're broken up with, you might definitely feel the shock. You might think denial is not accepting the fact that you're single now, that you've broken up. I don't think it's denial about the relationship. It's more like denial of the pain. I went through this phase completely because I didn't feel like I am allowed to feel bad about the breakup because it was such a smart, calculated decision that it's supposed to be good for everyone. It's like healthy to break up in a way. So why the hell would you feel pain? But there was pain which I was just pushing down and pretending like nothing happened. There was nothing going on in my life. There was like nothing happened. Like there was no pain inside of me. Everything is just fine. That is what I'm talking about when I say denial. Bargaining. So what it's supposed to be is you go back to your partner trying to get a bargain on the relationship in a way, like see if they want to get back together, if you can fix things, going back to your ex. But in my case, I don't do that. I don't go back to my exes. So in this situation, for me, bargaining was actually trying to be friends with my ex because I am such a people pleaser. I don't want anyone to hate me. So I wanted to be friends with my ex. But that is not healthy. And I will get to that in some time. But bargaining would be not just wanting to get back into a relationship. It would be just to get back together as friends and like keep that contact with you, which will be very painful, to be honest. Anger. Now, I don't need to explain anger because like everybody feels anger. The person who's been broken up with might feel anger about being broken up with. The one who's broken up might feel angry because things are not going the way they wanted to. It's not all smooth sailing and chill, and it's rather a lot more difficult than they hoped it would be. So anger does go on both sides for sure. Grief is something that we all go through, both parties. Somebody might get to this stage way earlier and cry about it, and some people might ignore it till it actually hits them. So grief will be a part of your life sooner or later. Acceptance. I have not yet reached this point, to be honest. I am still allowing myself to be in my grief period and allow myself to cry, to feel everything. Like my therapist said, just go through all the feelings and just purge everything. So whatever's on the other side might be my acceptance, but there's a long way to go. So I would say I am in my grief stage right now. Moving on. I have not reached that part yet, but if you have, you better let me know so I can feel proud for you. So all in all, these 7 stages are meant to be quite linear. So starting from stage 1 to stage 7, you'll be going through all these things in phases. So if you feel like you'll be going through all the stages in a linear format, just like Google told you, you won't, because it's going to be more like a graph. Some days you will feel really good about the breakup. You feel like you've moved on, but immediately the next day you will go back to denial. Some days you'll feel grief. Some days you would feel anger. And you'll constantly keep going back and forth depending on how your mood is that day, or what are the thoughts that you're having, or if you've seen something that reminds you of your ex, or it could be anything. But the factors will always differ, and it will never be a linear way to get through your breakup. At the end of the day, you have to purge everything and reach a point where you accept things. But till then, just keep purging, do the things that I am doing, just do whatever your heart says, and Finally, someday, hopefully, you reach a point where you accept the fact that you've broken up. Now, let's move on to the mistakes that we would make after the breakup that might affect our healing process. Mind you, these are not the mistakes that everyone would make, these are the mistakes that I have made, and I would like to talk about it, hoping that you won't make the same mistakes and act like an idiot just like me. Let's start with guilt. Guilt is something that I feel a lot because I have this issue of taking everything onto myself. So I start thinking about all the decisions I've made, all the choices that I've taken, and start questioning every single thing. But the thing is, everybody breaks up for a reason. It can be a superficial reason, it can be a deep reason. But to the person, that reason is legitimate. So there is no way that this relationship will continue to work because one party is not for it anymore. Do you understand? In my case, the choices that I made were because I wanted to heal myself, and that was a strong enough reason for me to talk about all the issues and talk about why things are not working out and moving out of the relationship. To somebody else, it could be a different reason, but no matter what reason, if you have made the decision to get out of a relationship, you should not feel guilty about it. You should not put yourself down because of the choices that you've made, even though these instances will come where you feel bad about your decisions and the guilt will take over you and make you want to talk to the person. Do not do that. Let that sink in, let it process, throw it out. Throw it out of your system, but don't talk to your ex, please. So the next one is thinking about the good times. This happens to me every time I'm guilt tripping myself. I'll start thinking about all the good things in our relationship and question my decisions because in that moment I would think that everything is fine, everything was fine, and I made the wrong choice. Instead, I would urge you to think about all the bad times, all the times where you felt small, you felt not needed, or something like that. I'm sure there's a different reason for everyone. Or maybe that one time he didn't bring you flowers. Concentrate on something that will make you feel better, not make you feel more guilty. The third one for me was that this person became my comfort zone. Everything in my life was completely set out and planned around this one character, my partner. So all my future decisions were dependent on this person still being there in my life. Now that I've taken this one character out of my story, everything is messed up. Everything seems wrong. And now I'll have to rebuild the whole thing all over again. This might happen to you, and this might make you want to go back to your person because they are your comfort zone and because everything in your life was just planned around them. You never planned your own singular goals. You always planned something together. And now that he or she is not there in your life, you'll have to rebuild everything, and that seems a lot more difficult than going back to that person and just going ahead with the original plan. It's difficult to replan and rebuild everything in your life, but when it comes to this point, it is always the right decision to only walk ahead and not walk backwards. This will bring you to a point of feeling a little lost and aimless. You would not know what you want to do with your life because now you just feel so tired. Everything feels like an effort. Waking up feels like an effort. Going to work feels like an effort. Talking to people feels like an effort. And definitely not planning a brand new future for yourself. So I understand that the pain weighs you down, and in that situation, you don't feel like getting up and planning your entire life, getting a journal, writing about all your problems and all your goals and everything, and just have everything done. It's not that easy, but I would say take baby steps. Start with talking to people, getting out of your house, maybe doing a few things that are out of your comfort zone, So it will make you more comfortable with the idea of not being in your comfort zone. I did snorkeling for the first time, and when I did it, I was so scared because I am terrified of water. But once it was done, I felt like I could do more. I felt like I have the strength in me to do more. So, yeah, just try something new, maybe, or meet someone new, or like do anything that you can that is in your power to make you feel a little different than what you feel right now when you're ready for it, which I'm not yet. So I have not gotten there, but I am planning to um, eventually start writing down my goals again, writing down what I originally wanted from my life, and kind of see how I can map out my future. But for now, I'm good with all the smaller experiences and I'm good with just taking it slow. And it's okay to take it slow. Oh my God. The next one is something that I really want to talk about, but we're not going to get into it too much, all right? And it's rebounds. You might end up meeting new people this way and might think that this is your way out of pain land, but no, it isn't. You'll realize that the quality of people out there is so bad that you might as well just be single. You're gonna find the craziest people out there, and it's going to make you feel good about your life for a millisecond, but it will be fun, let me tell you that. Here's a breakup challenge for you. Go out on one date with a stranger or a person you barely know, somebody new, all right? Make sure it's a 1 hour long date. Anything less than that doesn't count, okay? And share your experience with me. I really want to know. You can do rebounds, you can meet new people hoping to get back on the wagon again, but it's not gonna happen. Or it might happen, but I would suggest to not go into that because from what I've experienced, it's important for you to go through the breakup completely, get out on the other side, healed, and then get back into another relationship. If you get back into a relationship right now with anyone, it might work for a few months or a year or something, but your trauma will come back just like mine did, and you won't be able to give that relation a fair chance because of that. So do yourself a favor and your future lover a favor by just healing yourself for once and then getting on to another relationship. All right. This is also for me because I will watch this video again to tell myself that if I plan to make the same mistake again. Lastly, this reason will make you go running back to your ex full speed because you've lost all hope. Now you'll feel like you'll never find another partner ever again. You're going to die alone. Nothing's going to ever happen to you. All your friends are going to get married and have children, and you're going to die a spinster. Yes, I'm saying that about myself because I'm 27 and I have people around me who are getting married. I have people around me who are in healthy relationships and I am not. And that will definitely make you feel like you're going to die alone. But you won't. It's not going to happen. I know that the universe plays in a very mysterious way. If you're supposed to meet your soulmate, you will. And if you're not supposed to, the universe will do everything in its power to make sure that you don't. So if you feel like right now you're going through so many obstacles, it's because the universe doesn't want you to get into a relationship right now. It wants you to heal. And in time, in good time, you will find somebody who will make you feel great, somebody who will tick all the boxes, somebody who will just make things feel right. But that will take time. So just be patient and don't go running back to your ex. It's not healthy. Don't do that. And I might be saying that all throughout this episode, but I mean it. Don't go back. Now I'm going to tell you how to actually move on. This is something that I'm going to apply for myself. So it's not for you, it's also for me. We all will experiment together and find out. This is somewhere on the lines of the 7 stages of moving on, but in my own way. Number 1, cut off. Block that person. Do not talk to that person. Do not engage in any conversation. It will only make things worse. Cut off. Do whatever you want to lessen the pain to ease the process of your breakup, but do not, under any circumstances, go back. Allow yourself to feel the pain. Pain is the only thing that's going to help you right now. It will help you propel yourself out of it. But for that, you will have to feel it. Unless and until you feel the pain, you won't feel the need to get out of it. Find an outlet to spend all your energy. Nowadays, I feel like I have so much rage inside of me that I want to throw out somewhere. So I joined a gym and now I throw all my rage there and it feels amazing. By the end of it, I feel drained and all I want to do is take a nice nap. So find an outlet for yourself, if it's running, if it's hiking, if it's cycling, if it's whatever it is. Just do something to throw all of that energy out. And I'm telling you, it will make you feel better. Next one is be single for a while. We just talked about it in detail. You need to heal yourself in order to move on to a new relationship. So just allow yourself to be single, all right? Find the right people to talk to or find a therapist. You need to find somebody to talk about your problems in order to throw it out of your body. So it can be a friend for you or it can be a therapist, anybody, but you need to find somebody to talk to. Okay, this one is easy. Do things that will make you happy. Anything that makes you want to smile. You can go dancing, you can pick up a hobby and do something like that. Anything that will just put a smile on your face, even if it's watching rom-coms all day, you can do that for sure. Anything that makes you happy. This is your time to grieve. This is your way of dealing with it. Just go for it. Lastly, once you're ready for it, make new goals for yourself. Map out a new life. You need to find a purpose in your life. It's very important for you to find that one thing that makes you want to wake up in the morning, that drives you, that pushes you to go ahead, to live your life. So whenever you're ready, it will take time, but whenever you're ready, sit down, chart everything out, plan everything, and make a new map for your new life. Okay, I'm all spent now. I think I have said everything I have to say about breakups. I'm just going to end this by saying that breakups are difficult for everyone, but just know that you're not alone. We all go through this at one point in our lives, and this is something that makes us human. So just embrace this feeling. Just feel the pain. Go through this, because you know what? You will get on the other side. You will have that life that you fantasized and imagined about. Everything will fall into place. Just give it some time and be patient. Everything will be all right. Thank you for being such a great audience and tuning in. I am so glad that I picked up this topic. I just hope I don't have to say the word breakup ever again, because I have used it so many times in this episode. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Blahber Podcast, and keep coming back for new episodes every week. We are on Spotify and Apple Music, and I promise you we will have new episodes every week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.